Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to August. We're August, right? We're August? We're August.
I know.
Yes.
I swear we do this every month. It's like, what month is it? It's the end of August,
End
and
of August. Where the heck did
brutally
summer go? It was
it's
like,
brutally
boom, done.
hot. It feels like summer outside.
It
It's
does
so
feel like
hot.
summer. But can you believe the kids are going back to school already and all that?
No,
It's like, wow.
no. They go back to school way earlier than we did. We didn't even go Labor Day. Now it's like they were
Yeah,
in school like 2 weeks ago here.
yeah,
It's really
yeah.
weird. I
It's
know
crazy.
Pennsylvania, you're a little later, but here
A little
it
later. I think
didn't.
the kids actually started this week. Mm-hmm.
I think that
Yep.
ours started on like the 12th or something. It's ridiculous. I think because we're in the university town, that they
Maybe.
start basically when students start. So it's crazy, but
I don't, I'm sure it's exactly the same for you. I know with Penn State, when it's move-in weekend, which was this weekend, was move-in weekend, this last weekend. And it was insane. It was just people,
it,
it's like State College in Pennsylvania becomes the third largest city in the state when the students are in town. It's just
it's
madness.
it's so crazy. We just going to the store. You like have to think, no, it's
No,
move-in weekend. Like we went to Costco. We made the mistake. We went to Costco on move-in weekend.
yeah,
Oh goodness. I mean, and we're just small town Costco. We're not like Chicagoland Costco where it's always
yeah.
busy. And so it was insane. There wasn't a parking spot anywhere. So yeah, yeah.
Someone
It's
told us, I don't know how true this is. This is just what someone told us, that we were at Home Depot the other night buying a new refrigerator, and which is not fun at all. But we got it, and it's being delivered. But the person there, we were talking about it being move-in weekend, and she said she had heard that the Walmart in State College, there's two Walmarts, but one of the Walmarts is like when the students move in, it's the highest grossing Walmart in the nation when the students move back in
wow.
because so many people go to
Oh my
Walmart to
gosh.
buy all their stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my
Isn't that
goodness.
crazy?
We have 3 Walmarts here, and we're a twin city, so we've got, one
Hmm.
in one town and
Yep.
one in the other and then one in the third, but so yeah, it's wow, that's
Yeah.
that's nuts. I bet they're
Crazy.
popping that
Yeah. Yeah.
weekend, so
We're not going shopping. We're gonna stay in and
no.
stamp.
Yeah,
We're gonna stay
we're
in
gonna
and
stay in
stamp,
and
right?
craft. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, yep.
Exactly.
We're lucky, so
Quick reminder for everybody, right? So end of August, there's a couple of things we need to remember, right? Two things we need to remember. One, DSP.
one DSP sale for sure.
Yes.
Get your
15%
DSP
off,
'cause
right? Is it
yeah,
15?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15% off of,
Yeah.
designer series paper and, such stock up because
Yeah.
there is some beautiful paper. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is
And
number
if
one.
you
And
have
number
questions,
two, oh,
I say if
what?
you have questions about it, reach out to Betsy or I because we can give you a list of what's
Which
available,
ones
what's
are
on
on
sale
sale?
and stuff. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And
number
number
2
two is if you have bonus coupon codes that you received last month, you have to use them this month or they will expire.
yeah, you've only got this week, right? Or till the end of the month. So you're
Yep.
watching this on Wednesday, then you've only got a few days. So
Yep.
don't wait. So place
Don't
your
wait.
orders. You don't want to lose out on those
Nope.
bonus day coupons. So
Exactly.
you
Yep. So
earned
get
you
your,
earned them, so use them.
yep. Who doesn't love a discount? So use it up. Yeah, make sure you get those. We are with you today to show you our Stamp It Your Way kit. Stamp It Your Way is something we came up with. Well, Mary Ellen came up with it, and I just tagged along for the ride. But
No,
Mary,
that's not
we came up with this right as COVID was starting. It had a different name back then, and we changed it up, and it's kind of formed and changed along the way. But this is Stamp It Your Way, and it's a class kit. You can card kit and project kit you can sign up for on a month-to-month basis, and we send you everything you need, and then we do this fun video to show you how to do it, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and we
Mhm.
love it too because we get to see each other. Before we started recording, we were just getting to see each other because it's
We were.
we haven't seen each other for a month. We
I
see each
know.
other once a month, just like you see us. We see each other because we live 10 hours away
Yeah.
from each other. So Yeah,
Silly.
it's enjoyable. So you know, we're fine if you skip through us, but we're funny. So I mean,
We're
don't
just more
skip.
happy
Yeah,
to we're
you
happy to
might
see each
miss some.
other. So we're just chit
Yeah,
chatting and
you,
having a good time.
yeah, you might miss some great comedy skits. I don't know, but hey,
Yeah.
we're excited about this month for sure because we've never done. This is our first time doing an online exclusive, and so you want to
Yes.
explain what it is and what an online exclusive is, and
Absolutely. So online exclusives are Stampin' Up does it so that we have certain catalogs, right? So we have an annual catalog that comes out, and then we have two we have a spring catalog and a holiday catalog. So the new holiday catalog, by the way, is coming. So that goes live in September. So if you did not get one of those yet, you definitely want to contact one of us. Let us know that you need that holiday catalog. We'll get it into your hands. But in between those catalog releases, Stampin' Up wants to keep giving you more product to choose from and keeping the availability bright and fresh and new. So they've come out with online exclusives. So it's 3 or 4 times a year. They come out with online exclusives. These are only while supplies last. So you want to make sure that you get in on those items. And what they did was they released these back in June. Is that right? June or July? No. Yeah.
yeah,
It was mostly
June.
Christmas. It was a good bit of
It must have
Christmas stuff
been
they
June.
released. June, I think.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I
I'm
have the
not
chart,
sure.
but it's way over there, and I can get out and go get it if you'd like me to.
No, it's fine. No, but what I really like about it is that it kind of fills in the gap for me as a demonstrator, bringing in because the catalog for the Christmas stuff comes out in September. Well, I want to start drawing Christmas cards in July because we got to get on it, right? Because there's a,
Mhm.
we want to make our own cards. We've got to get started early because usually we're not just making 5 cards, we're making a pretty large number. So I love
Absolutely.
that we can jump in with that. And the other thing is it just broadens our categories. Like we noticed in this mini catalog that's coming up that the Halloween selections are not real big. But because we have online exclusives, we got an extension there of more products. So definitely go in and take a look at the
There's some
online exclusive.
cute there's some cute
Super
Halloween
cute.
stuff in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I haven't even
Yep.
really started working with it. I mean it's August, so I wasn't quite ready, but it's getting close. Yeah,
It's
it's getting
getting
close. So
close.
yeah, so
Getting
we took a
close.
chance because we have
Mm.
never done it, and the other thing about online exclusives is it's while supplies last. So we
Mhm.
were just not sure, how's it going to work out? Is things going to sell out? But luckily, here we are, and it's been really great. And we're doing something new with a bundle that has masks.
Yes.
So we're going to show
Yes.
you some masking today, and Betsy, you want to go ahead? Is there anything else we need to talk about? You can go
No,
ahead and
I think we're
show
good.
the.
Let's
Yeah, let's
let's
go ahead
let's go
and get
stamp. So
started.
we are featuring the Frosted Forest bundle. Now this bundle actually has 3 pieces. Most of the time your bundles only have 2. Most of your bundles come with the stamp set and then the dies. But in this case, you are actually getting a third piece. So it actually comes with 3 pieces. It comes with the stamp set, it comes with the dies, and then it comes with these fun masks. So there's these masks that go together, and they have like this little notch up at the top, and they're actually lettered as well. I don't know if you can see it very well in there, but this one says A, this one says B, and this one says C. So it tells you how they go together when you're layering them together. And this little notch shows you where they're going to go. So as you line it up, let me move some of this out of the way here. So as you line it up, you can line your notch up in a certain place, and then okay, well, when I come in with this mask, it's going to go in the exact same spot based on where that little notch is. And we're going to show you some tips as we go through it. Mary Ellen's actually going to be using this set of masks on one of her cards. And I'm going to be using the other set. So here's the other set, which has like a tree trunk. That is our A, or actually, that one's
No,
labeled
those
as
are
A, B,
numbered.
C. This one's numbered.
Yeah,
Yes, you got it. 1, 2, and 3 is what
yeah.
this is
Because
labeled as.
you look at that stamp set, and you've got like kind of a
Yeah.
evergreeny, but then you've got deciduous, and so one is the numbered, and then one is lettered. Yeah.
Yep. And actually, the thing I like about this set too is Frosted Forest. But do you know there are no Christmas greetings in this set?
I know.
right? It's a thinking
That
of
made it
you,
fantastic.
birthday wishes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I love it because if
yeah,
you wanted to make it Christmas, you pull in one of your Christmas greetings, you know you have it, and then
yep.
you use it. But for this, the greetings are the perfect
We
things
all
thinking of
use
you. Thank you,
trees. I
birthday.
love
Yeah,
anything with trees,
yeah,
right? I
yeah.
love
Me too.
anything with trees.
Nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is this is the bundle. So you get the 3 pieces. We are featuring a little bit of the Country Woods Designer Series paper. We're showing that a little bit. I'm using another DSP, which I'll show you a little later. When you got the kit, you got everything to make the cards. There are 4 different cards. You make 2 of each. And in the kit, we also included a package of the small blending brushes, because one of my cards, you're doing a lot of blend with the masks, you do a lot of blending. So I included a pack of that, and we also included the gems, which I believe are also an online exclusive. And these are called the Pecan Pie and Clear Ribboned Adhesive Back Dots. They almost have like a silver ribbony type running that goes through them. They're very, very pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the camera doesn't do it justice. You can't
No.
really see it in there, but in person, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. They have just like
Yeah,
almost like a thread detail to
I've
them.
been using it like crazy because it's so different than anything we've ever had before. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
using them like crazy. I
Yep.
just love them.
Yeah. So the packet's 35 if you have local pickup, 44 if you want it delivered to you or if you want it shipped to you. But that's not a bad deal for now. You have to make sure that you have the bundle and you purchase that, and you can have that as an add-on. But this is again, stamp it your way. Maybe you don't necessarily have this bundle, but you have another tree set at home or another tree dies. You can easily replace what we are doing with maybe something you have at home. But the kit allows you to then kind of mix and match it and stamp it your way. That's why we have it named the way we do, right?
That's right.
That's right. But I still think you're going to want this bundle. I still think you're going to want it. Okay. So I'm going to get us started on the first 2 cards. Let me put this all aside here for a second. Now, the first card I actually wanted to show how to use this without using the masks or using the masks. So just because it has masks doesn't mean that you have to use them. So the first card I did is super simple. It's just some designer series paper, some die cuts. It's just adding the trees there. So what we're going to use is we've got, of course, an envelope. We've got our thick basic white. We've got some basic gray. We have the Country Woods Designer Series paper. I love this one. It's got the nice board look on the back, but this one to me is like just weathered wood. It's very pretty. A piece of smoky slate, and then there are 2 pieces of basic white. Now they could have been the same size. It doesn't really matter. I did it so that one is going to go in the inside, and then this one is what I'm going to use to die cut. So when I bring in my die cuts here, what you're going to do is you're going to actually die cut that, and then you're going to flip it over and die cut again. So that essentially what you get is this. All right. So you can get 2 die cuts out of 1 piece. See that?
Yeah, it's
Oops.
perfect.
Am I locked up? There we go.
You're good.
Got it? Okay. By the way, I saw this being used the other day. Speaking of Halloween, I saw this being used the other day where they did a couple of these die cuts. They had them all kind of lined up, right? And then they had this purpley, orangey, yellowy scene, and they had a moon that they had masked off. It was really pretty. And I
Or the
thought, oh,
trees
that's,
black, or the trees black like silhouettes.
yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
good. That
Yep. I
sounds
thought that was
that's
a great
yeah,
idea. Yeah.
great.
All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and die cut your trees. I'm going to quickly kind of poke these out. I didn't do it ahead of time. Sorry. I should have done that ahead of time. So I'm just going to poke out my little pieces. There you go. There's my little tree. So I'm going to bring in my basic white. This card is super easy. It's nice because when you think about it, when you have a die cut, you can pretty much do it just about anything you want to it. Like here, making it white versus making it black and making it like a silhouette. Either way really works. All right, come here. I can get my glue to work. There it goes. So I'm going to use my basic gray here. And I want to kind of see this piece. So I'm going to bring it down here like that because I want to see that, that weathered look. You could do it up here, I guess, too. Actually, learn to do it that way. Making it up as I go. It's what we do best, right?
I was like, that's what we do, Betsy.
It's what we do. We make it up as we go.
Actually, I like that a lot, coming out of the
Right?
trees like that. That looks really
Yeah.
good.
Because it does kind of look a little snowy, right? So
No,
with
yes,
the
it
with
does.
the kind of the rough look of the paper. I'm just using a little bit of glue. A little bit goes a long way. You barely have to put any glue on there. And I'm not even putting it out into all the branches. I'm just putting it on the centers of the tree. That's going to be enough to kind of hold this in place. Going to add this to my bottom. Just like that.
Can I ask you a
And then
question?
from,
I have not used.
yes.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, because I have not used that die, and I'm looking at it. So does the bottom, you could where you place your trees on your paper when you die cut it could give you a bigger base of snow. I'll say snow area.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is
Okay. I
no
like
blade.
that.
There's no blade along the bottom of it. So depending on how much
Ah,
you want, if you wanted a larger amount of snow, you can make it wider. So
for
yeah, so
sure.
when you look at my cards, they have different kind of bases, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, you just got to make sure that if you're going to get 2 out of 1, you got to kind of line it up.
Right.
But
Just don't go
if you
too
have
high.
tons, yeah, if you have tons of white paper at home and you want to make it thicker, then go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Who doesn't, right? Who
Okay,
doesn't
I
have a
thank
ton of
you.
white? Yes.
I was just curious. I hadn't used that. So
No,
thank
I'm
you.
glad you said something. All right. And I'm using Misty Moonlight. I'm using Misty Moonlight ink, and I'm just using the little bird that comes in this one. I'm stamping that for my inside, and then I'm also going to do that for. Okay, so I just used Misty Moonlight to stamp in the little bird. I'm going to go ahead and use my basic gray for the inside. And then this is going on. Actually, you know something? I did miss a step. I already see it already. But you know what? We'll just do it differently. We'll make it up as we go, right? That seems to be the theme today. I'm going to take my greeting. I'm also using Misty Moonlight. The greeting I'm using for this one is the birthday wishes for a day as great as you are. So this is a good masculine card, right? So I'm going to stamp my greeting.
Yeah, but feel free to send it to me too, because I wouldn't mind.
Ah,
But
well,
yes,
absolutely.
I know what you're saying about. I know what you're saying about masculine. I mean, you automatically look at it and you think that, but really, I think that you could send that to anyone and they would love it.
I think so. Well, you know how some people have like winter birthdays, right? You have winter birthdays. Yeah. You don't want to necessarily send them like a Christmas card, but you want to have like more of a winter theme. You could do that.
That's true. That's good.
Right? So I just cut a little tag.
You could really, I'm thinking about this now. Like, see, you got my juices flowing, and you could change that color of those white trees and do something fall and change the paper or do something, yeah.
It's super easy, right? Lots of possibilities. Yep. So on the card that I made, I actually stapled it. So I love that look of like having like a little staple up here to just kind of industrialize it. Oh, there you go. So I've got this little staple up there, but you know what? I did not pull my stapler and it's not here. So what I'm going to do is instead is I'm just going to pop it up with some dimensionals. You could use a stapler if you have one at home, but I'm just going to, in this case, use a couple dimensionals on the back. And then you can kind of put this wherever you want. As a matter of fact, maybe I'll change this one up and bring the greeting down there.
You would want to staple it before you lay your layered it anyway. So, I
Yes.
mean,
Yep.
just
So you would
if you
want to
didn't want
staple it
this.
to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But this is
I
just as
love it
pretty as that is. And let's add some gems.
for
I
sure.
had them here a second ago. There they are. So if I add a couple of gems here, I'm using the clear ones. So I'll do, come here. Like that. And there's my card, just a little bit different. So let me show you a third way of doing this. So actually, when I was playing with this, I thought, well, this would be really cute as a Christmas card. So I brought in another one of the new online exclusives,
Mm,
which is the sophisticated sled,
yeah. Love
right? And
that
I brought
set.
in the Let It Snow and I brought in the snowflakes and then made it into a Christmas card,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
right?
Easy. Yeah. Good.
So
Good
easy to just
alternative.
kind of change out the greeting and make it whatever you would like to make it, right?
Oh, I'm glad you showed us that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's card number one. Super easy to do. Lots of variations that you can do with that one. All right. So then now this card I absolutely love. I am so tickled with how this turned out. It just makes my heart happy. But I will warn you that it does take 10 ink pads.
God.
Yes, I said 10. It does take 10 ink pads. So let's kind of go through these here for a second, okay? So we
Oh,
have got some melon mambo, okay? We have got pumpkin pie. We've got our crushed curry. We've got our granny apple green. We've got some shy shamrock, blueberry bushel. We've got some berry burst. And then I've got some browns. We've got some crumb cake, pecan pie, and the new basic beige. So yes, this
wow.
card is going to take all of that. But look how pretty it is. Isn't it pretty?
Oh my gosh, so much color, but we love color. So,
Love color,
yeah,
right? And
we do.
again, it's using this in a different way. This is not a normal tree. So let's not make a normal card. And it's thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. And it's just, I just love it. So we
Mhm.
are going to do a little bit of masking on this one. So let me kind of move all my ink pads out of the way here. I want to try to keep them in order so I don't lose track of which one goes where. My little rainbow and lose track of my. Speaking of a rainbow, I saw a video the other day where somebody had painted, they painted something. It was like one of those like reels or, Facebook videos or something.
Sure.
And it was a little kid and a mom. And the mom looks at the little kid and says, "Why don't you like it?" And she goes, "It's not right, mommy." And she was like, "Why isn't it right?" And she goes, "It's not right." And she panned back and she had colored her rainbow opposite. She had put the purple on the top and then had
Oh,
gone backward into the red. So the red was the small one and the purple was the big one at the top. And this little girl was just so upset in the fact
oh,
that this rainbow was not correct, that it had to go it's just not right, mommy. It's just not
wasn't in
right.
the right order. That's funny.
So it made me think of that when I was doing this card. All right, so I've
Mm,
got a piece of basic black. Now this one, what you're going to do is you are going to score this to make it like the book binding card, so that you've got this part there that's kind of like a binding of a book, so that only part of the
yeah.
card opens. So when you have your basic black, you're going to score it at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4. So you're creating this at this inch mark in there, so that when you fold it, and you fold this back, we're actually going to seal this down so that it stays sealed together, just like that. That's called a book binding, right? There's a piece
That's
of
one of my
basic.
favorite.
I know it's such an easy little technique to do, and it's so easy just to kind of whip these out and have just a fun, different kind of fold, right?
Yeah.
A large piece of basic white, and that's really for doing the trees, right? For stamping, so
Oh,
because you want to get at least two. So there's a big piece there, and then we've got two smaller pieces of white. These are going in the inside and the front, so that's going to layer on there. We're going to do a little stamping on that. And I used for this card the Full of Life 6x6 Designer Series paper, and I think this is one of the ones that's on sale this month. This paper is very much out of my comfort zone. It is as bright can get. Um, but I love the rainbow look. And I thought, well, this would be perfect for this card. So we have just like a little 3/4 inch piece cut from this that gives you that rainbow. Okay.
So that's where you got all your colors from, that piece of
Yes.
paper.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
Yep. All right. So what I want to do first is I am going to stamp the largest tree here. So I'm going to stamp this, and I'm going to stamp this using, I'm pretty sure I used pecan pie. It's been a little while since I've made this card, so I got to try to remember what I did to make it. Yes, so pecan pie, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp that right there. Okay, so there's my outline, and that's the pecan, and I'm going to move that ink pad out of the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my mask. Okay, and this is mask number 1 that has just the tree trunk. And this one's pretty easy. I mean, you could use the notch, but you can see where this goes just by lining it up on that trunk. Now, you could use this without stamping it, but in this case, I'm going to stamp it, and I'm bringing in my crumb cake ink. And I'm going to use my crumb cake, and I'm going to, and I have the glass mat here. So the nice thing about the glass mat is I can just swipe off any extra ink on my glass mat first. And then I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to just hold it in place. You could tape it down if you needed to tape it down if you were afraid of it moving. But if you're gentle with it, it should be fine. And all I'm doing is coming in and blending in some color right over top of that mask. And I can actually pick up that color that I swiped off earlier, bring some of that in if I need it to be a little darker. But there then is my tree trunk. Look.
Mm-hmm.
Blends it in nicely, right? So that's one.
Nice.
That's the first mask. I'm going to go ahead and put that aside. And I'm going to bring in my second mask, which is this one. Now this one, I am going to be using quite a few colors. So I'm going to get rid of my crumb cake. And I'm going to open up my pads here quickly, just to have them open and in front of me. So let me clear a little bit of space here. So I've got my berry burst that's going to be my purple. I've got my blueberry bushel, and I have got my shamrock and my granny and my crushed curry and my pumpkin pie and my melon mambo. Okay. And then I have my brushes for those various colors, right? So I'm going to start with my first one, and I'm going to pick up my melon mambo. I'm going to bring this towards me a little bit, and I want to kind of hold on to this while I'm going. I could mask it. I could tape it down, but I'm just going to hold it in my hand. It should be fine. I'm just kind of lining that up where it needs to go. I think I got that. And I'm going to brush off my excess right there on my glass mat. And I'm going to bring in a little bit of pink right up there at the top, or a little bit of red, right? And that's it. That's all I want of the red. Then I'm going to bring in my pumpkin pie. Same thing. I can kind of take the excess off, and then I'm just going to bring in a little pumpkin pie, kind of blending around into that red. Then I'm going to do my crushed curry. Same thing. And I'm just kind of blending upwards. Then I'm going to use my granny apple. All right, and then the shy shamrock. How pretty is that color? I really do like that color.
Yeah.
I'm glad they brought it in. And then blueberry bushel. Oops. Well, watch where you're putting your brushes. And then my berry burst, which is going to be my last one. Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty quick. And there's my tree.
Pretty.
Look how pretty that is. Isn't it colorful? Now, the more you
Mm-hmm.
do this, right, the more you play with it, the more you get it going. Sometimes you can get it really super dark. Sometimes it might be on a little bit of a lighter shade. If the more you play with it, the more you figure out like your strengths, how hard you want to press. I love this glass mat because I can just then wipe off all that extra ink that I just had on there, and there, easy peasy and clean. So you see how that works? Then you use
Yeah,
your die to cut that out. Okay? Easy, right? All right, so let me
yeah.
close these up before I put my fingers in them.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how you did it. I was thinking of all these possibilities. Did she like hold the paper to divide each color? But no, that was way easier than I was anticipating. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, just going right over top of the mask and kind of blending them in. And so any shade you wanted to do, you could do. So think about
Hmm.
like your different cancers, right? So think about your different cancers, and your different cancers have different colors. So you could easily make your tree any color you wanted to make it. And it's like a thinking of you or something like that, and theme it towards like maybe that cancer color. That's an idea.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to use this one right there that I already have die cut and ready to go. Now there is a third mask, by the way, which you could put on top of there to add a little bit more accent. I didn't really feel like it needed it, so I did not use this mask, okay? But I did use my Wink of Stella. So my Wink of Stella, I wanted it to have a little bit of shimmer, so I kind of got this kind of wet, and then I just flicked a little bit of sparkle on there, just like that. You can't really see it probably in the video very well, but it just added a little bit of shimmer to the tree.
Yeah, you can catch it. Yeah,
Yeah,
looks good.
just a little shimmer. Yeah. So I did use Wink of Stella for that. All right, so let's bring this in. Let's put our rainbow piece on, and you may go upside down if you'd like your purple at the top, but somebody might not like it. They
Your
might say,
child.
that's not right, mommy. That's not right. I have a piece of white twine that I'm going to bring around, and I'm going to tie in a bow. You could tie a knot if you wanted to, but I'm a bow girl. Oops, I need a little bit more on that end. The key is not to get it tangled. Keep it as straight as possible to get your bow to go the way you want it to. All right, so let me slide this into place. So I want my bow up there. All right, and then now I can glue this shut, this piece. So I'm going to add my glue in here to glue down my book binding. All right. I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to bring in one of the pieces for the white on the front, and I'm going to bring in my basic beige, and I'm going to bring in my stamp, and I had done pecan pie, so I'm going to clean that off here quickly. And I'm also going to clean the little bird stamp, if I can figure out where he went. Put him somewhere. There he is. I'm going to clean off that little bird stamp as well. So this, I'm going to use the basic beige, and I'm going to stamp a couple trees just to give it a little bit of background. So I'm going to do one up here, maybe about there. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to bring this one down, maybe about there. Just something to have a little bit of accent so that when this piece gets popped up, it's just got like a little bit of a forest behind it. And I want to add the little bird like it's kind of flying in, like that. So this one, sure that's, hit it with my bone folder, that might help it stay shut. And then I'm gonna glue this onto the front. You're so quiet over there. What you doing?
Oh, I'm just enjoying the process. I'm
Just
totally
enjoying the
enjoying the
process?
Yeah.
All right. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals on this.
I'm just watching the artist at work.
You're so full of it. You are just too funny, girl. All right, I'm going to put this one in the
Actually,
center.
my thoughts were, I can't believe how much color she's using. She's gone out of her comfort zone.
I did, didn't
Oh,
I? It's like, this is so not me, right? I mean, to do the color on there. Well,
good
speaking of
job,
a little
girl.
bit more color, I also, for the inside, what I did was I also stamped again. So if I bring my tree top in, I'm going to use my basic beige again. And I'm going to do this for the piece for the inside right here. So I'm going to stamp that. And then I'm going to do it again on my envelope right there. Get this out of my way. Wipe off my glass just so I don't get any ink on anything. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my brushes. They probably still have a good bit of ink on them. I don't really have to do a whole lot. And just kind of lightly shade the colors that I might want on there. So there's like my red, my orange, and my yellow. So there's my pink, my red, my green, or my pumpkin pie, my crushed curry. And then let's bring in a little bit of that granny apple, kind of green at the bottom. Isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
You know me, I like everything to match, right?
That'd be wonderful for all kinds of things, using it on your envelope to stamp when you're doing flowers or whatever, not just a tree. Yeah.
And those brushes keep so much ink on them. You'd be surprised how much ink. It's like you don't have to keep kind of going back into your ink pad. They retain so much ink in them, and you can just kind of keep blending away without having to add more right away. All right. Now, the last two pieces left to this. So in the packet that everybody got, they got a piece of black that's already die cut. And this actually is an online exclusive item, which is called the Iconic Imagery Dies. And there are a couple labels in here that I thought were really pretty, and this is one of them. So we went ahead and we did the die cutting of this for you. This one has like a I'd have to pull the set to look at all the images, but you can see a star, you can see a tree, a little heart. There's all kinds of different little imagery items in there. Little heart dies here, little star dies there. It's a cute die set as well. But this one, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and heat emboss. So I'm going to bring in some white embossing powder. I'm going to bring in my little embossing buddy kit. One of the things you want to do when you're embossing with white powder, especially, or any kind of a dark cardstock, especially a black cardstock, any kind of dark cardstock, make sure you use your embossing buddy to kind of take out that static from it. So make sure you do that first. That way, then when you stamp it with the Versamark, all right, so I'm going to ink this up. Now, if you had this die set at home, you probably could just do it on a piece of black and not have to try to aim. But we went ahead and pre-die cut it for you. Let's see how good my aim is. I'm going to go ahead and use my Versamark ink on that. Now, I keep my embossing powder in a separate container. If you had the embossing buddy, you can do it right inside that. I'm going to bring out my white. I'm going to use a little spoon and just kind of add my powder where I need it to go. Hey, you know what? I did that pretty darn good.
I see that. Pretty good.
I impress even me. I impress even me on that one. All right. So what you would do is you would take your heat gun and you would heat that up to melt that. I'm not going to do that on camera here. I think everybody knows how to heat emboss. If you don't, it is life changing. It's one of the best things ever. So what you do is like when you're going to get this to this, right? So you can see how it's like a dull, powdery look. And when you heat emboss it, you get this nice, bright, white, shiny look, right? And then I just use that extra, right? So I just have one already pre-done.
Yeah, with
And I'm
texture,
gonna
and you
add,
can run your fingers across it, and
yes,
it feels
yep,
nice.
yep, gives it
That's
that
what I
nice
like.
raised emboss look. And I'm gonna put this right over top of my trunk, kind of center it where I want it to go. And then the last piece I need are some pretty little embellishments. So I'm using the pecan pie. There we go. And there is card number 2.
There you go.
Isn't that pretty? And it's pretty fast considering like when you read that you need 10 ink pads, you're like, oh my gosh, what am I getting into? But it goes pretty quickly,
it really
right?
is. Yeah, sure did.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So those are my 2. Mary Ellen, you ready for yours?
Sure.
Okay.
I hope so. All right, so I'm ready to show my cards. I'm just going to show you the card first. So this is a card that I designed, and I like the wintry look again. But honestly, it doesn't have to be necessarily wintry. I mean, it's thinking of you, the same as you use, but kind of just in the forest, right? So just foresty. But I didn't use like anything snowy in this card. So it could just be, for any time of the year. So what you get in your packet is you get your pool party card base, the standard 8.5 by 5.5. You're going to have 2 pieces of pretty peacock that are just a smidge, and that's an official term, a smidge smaller, and then you've got 2 pieces of basic white. This is inside and outside, and this card will go together pretty quickly. And it's this is your standard layer of 5.25 by 4. And so this one's just an eighth bigger. All right, so I'm going to set aside the inside pieces for now, and let's just go ahead and fold our card and get started with our masking. So the other thing you get is you're going to have a little piece of gray for your little bird, and then you're going to have a little mask that we cut using just some copy paper, and we'll see. I think it was copy paper.
You might get it in cardstock. You might get it in
I'll just tell you, I made the card. This is just barely. I'm going to look right over it because it's just so close. It's literally a smidge. Literally a smidge. You can just see the edge, just a little, just a little. No, I actually made the card before I had my surgery, so I've told people that I've had a lot of drugs since then. So I just didn't. But if this tears, then I'll say otherwise. So I did 1/4 of a sheet of copy paper, and this one is just a hair smaller. So I like that way because then I can kind of center it. And then I can use just a little bit of my Scotch tape or repositionable tape to hold them together on the back. And
oh, that's a good idea.
that way it has something kind of to hold on to, okay? And let's just put that there. That way I don't have to like worry about, I could tape it down if I needed to, but I don't think I need to. So there's my little mask, and we're going to start with our blending brushes, and I'm going to bring in the 3 small ones. And the colors that we're using for this card are not 10, but only 3. We're going to use some balmy blue and shady spruce.
You underachiever, you.
Yeah, not a slight against my friend Betsy or anything. Just saying, just saying.
Go big or go home, girlfriend. Go big or go home.
We're going to start by just adding a little bit of color. And again, I love to use my glass mat and get off some of the color. Now, I didn't pick up too much. It's actually pretty light.
You've got brand new
And
brushes. Yeah. So that's a bit
well, I got
difference between like a brand new brush and brush you've been using for a while.
yeah, brand new brushes, and really you want it's always amazing to me how when see it came off just a little bit, but how when you add color, you don't have to use that much, because it actually, people are always like, oh, I got to get it darker, I got to get it darker. No, well, you really don't, because it's actually darker than you think it is.
Yes.
You know what I'm
When
saying
you
by that?
I do. When you remove that mask, you've got more
Yeah.
color on there than you
Yeah,
think you do.
yeah, you think there's a lot, but look, like, I mean, you think there's not that much, but when you remove it, it's good and dark. That's
It's
exactly how I
there.
want it. So I'm kind of going from this corner. I'm leaving my white spot here. So now I can just kind of go in the middle and add a little bit, just using what's on my brush and what's on my glass mat, just like so. Okay, so I'm going to keep my mask on, and now I'm going to stamp some of my pine trees, and I'm going to bring in the little stamp here, and I'm going to keep my mask on because I want to stamp, let me get that good and inky, over the corner here. See, I didn't get that quite good, but it's not going to be bad, because what I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to stamp this one down a little bit, and then I'm going to stamp one full one here, just like that. Okay, so now I can go ahead and remove my mask. So this is not bad, actually. This actually, once I remove my mask, that didn't really bother me. But if that does bother you, what you could do is you could come in with a little bit of color right there, just like
Blend
that,
it
and
in.
then
Yep.
blends that in. Okay, so let's remove that little repositionable tape. Get it out of the way. All right, so now we're going to bring in our actual frosted forest mask, and I've got two that I'm using. I'm using mask B and mask A, okay? And so I'm going to start with mask A, and I'm going to put my tree on this side of my card. So like Betsy, you don't really have to tape it down, because you're going to just see, like, where do I want this? I want this pretty much as far over as I can get to the edge. I want to go up above that little line. It's okay if I'm going into that little tree right there. That's perfectly fine. And then I can just hold it there. And I'm going to use my balmy blue again. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. And I'm going to use, I love these masks. And I'm just going to use the mask.
I'm surprised you're using balmy blue. I would have thought you would have used pool party with the pool party base, but this actually makes it pop a little bit more.
It's exactly right, because I'm so glad you said that, because I was thinking, was that pool party? Was that balmy blue? I think, first of all, you could do either, but I have always noticed the pool party is just like a little darker, and the balmy blue screams sky to me. So that's why with this, I was doing that. And I thought, I'm to lessen the number of ink pads too. We're going to just use balmy blue here too. So we're going to,
perfect.
yeah. So I'm going to give you a little tip though. If you, I don't know that it's going to matter here. So I'm not going to give you a tip. I'm just going to pull that. I started to say something and I thought, no, I started to say something. And I thought, no, that's not going to work. Okay, so now I'm going to lay. I know. I'm so weird.
She's had a lot of drugs, people. She's had a lot of drugs.
Thank you for saying that. So what you can, I want you to watch. Can you see this? I don't know. It's hard. I want you to see when I lay this on here, and I'm looking, and I'm just dropping. You see a lot of blue. And all of a sudden, boom, you see white. You just see white. But you can see the center stem going straight up there. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this where it just drops off the blue that I just did, but I can see that center stem. So it's almost like when you're lining up a punch, I guess. And you're just I don't know if that makes sense, but it
Well,
does
I
to
think
my
it's like
way.
like creating you're going to create like a shadow, right?
Yes, yeah, you are. So now I'm going to use my shaded spruce. This is hard doing it one-handed.
It is.
I'm gonna maybe. I mean, if I taped it, I guess I wouldn't have to do it one-handed. I feel like I have to do it one-handed, but
Well, here's
I
another
guess
thing too. Like you're using shaded spruce instead of pretty peacock. So your card base, and so they don't have to match. They
no,
do, but
no,
they
no.
come together so well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We were stamping yesterday, friends, and someone was like, "Well, you can't use that with that," and I'm like, Why not? I don't
Why?
understand what you're saying. Like, well, that doesn't match. I go, matching and coordinating are two different things, and I go, they
Yeah.
coordinate. They may
There's
not
all kinds of
match.
shades you can use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they coordinate. So there's, well, mine, this one's a little bit lighter. I guess you could go a little bit darker, but this one's a little bit lighter. And like I said, remember, it was a month ago when I designed this card, but I like that. I still like that. I like it a lot. Now you're going to
It's
take these
very
little
pretty.
pieces. You're going to take this, well, let's stamp our greeting. We're going to use Thinking of You. We're going to stay within our parameters of our mask box. And then we are going to open up our smoky slate. I'm going to close this balmy blue. I told myself I wouldn't slam those down on the glass, and I've done it because I know how echoey it is. And we're going to use a little gray as for our little bird. So you need one for each card. I did not pre-die cut that, so I'm going to bring in my little mini because I've got it right here. And I'm going to bring in my little bird. I actually have them on.
I have my boho. Here's another little funny. I have my boho machine, my little mini boho machine color, up on my shelf on my big cabinet behind me. My husband asked me the other day if that was a toy. He's like, "Is that a toy?" And I'm like, "No."
It's a tool.
It's a tool, but it's not a toy.
No, it's not a toy. Well, we like to play with it.
We do. It just cracked me up when he said that. He's like, "Is that a toy?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"No." It's a very, very important tool.
Yes, it is. All right, so we're gonna pop out that little gray dove. Maybe it's got so much tape on it here. Okay. Move my plates out of the way. I'm gonna pop that up with a little mini dimensional. He's pretty tiny. I'm just gonna pull one right out of the middle.
Little bird.
Yeah, he's a little bird. I'm gonna add him now. I'm gonna add him right down here. He's coming up to that greeting, kind of flowing into the pick. All right, so there's really most of the card right there. We're gonna do a little stamping on the inside. I'll be honest with you, I'd probably do that a little stronger, but I'm not.
Everybody's different, right? So
I'm almost kind of not unhappy with it. I'm just saying that. I'll show you both. It's two
I don't think
versions.
there's any right way or wrong way. I think everybody kind of makes it up and does what they like, you
That's
know?
right. That's right. How about a couple trees on the inside? And then, of course, on your envelope, too.
That's what we tell everybody when really we have no idea what we're doing. We just kind of wing it every month.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're like, you just do it your way. It's because we don't have a clue what we're doing.
Yes, we do. We have lots of ways. Okay, so we'll add that to our pretty peacock. And yes, the color thing, it's a coordinating color. Look at. I mean, seriously, it's beautiful. It does. I love monochromatic. Don't get me wrong. I do love monochromatic. I made a card. Actually, it was a brown card just this last week that I loved, and it was monochromatic and kind of like a pecan pie type of color. But I think that having the coordinating texture is just I like it. So
I
all
think
right,
it looks great. Yeah.
let me get my gems out, my little pecan pie and ribbon gems, and I'm going to use the I'm going to show you a little trick here. I don't know if these are opened or not. If you just slit up the side of your little paper, you can keep that inside and just pull that out, just like that. And then you can slide them right back in.
That's
Right,
I do that as well. I learned that trick and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. All of my embellishments now, I cut them on the side.
yeah, I've been doing it. Oh, I didn't take my, see, you got to do as I say, not as I do. Goodness. And
I know. I was having difficulties with mine too. I think I need to pull off the little gummy end and re-gummy it.
It's staying there. It's on. No, it's coming out. I'm kidding.
Live
It's
television,
there
folks.
forever. It's there forever.
Live television.
Oh, it just keeps coming out. These are really sticky on there. I'm going to take it off my glass mat, maybe there. Okay, so I'm going to put one up here. I'm going to put one. I'm just going to put them up there in the corner. Okay, so there is card number 1. So I want to show you. You can just slide these back in there, just
Right
like
back in.
so. Okay. All right. So there's 2 versions. I don't know, which one do you like better? This one? I'm seeing
I like
something
them
different.
both.
I feel
I
like
do. I
maybe
like
I
them both.
forgot something. I'm kind of wondering now. Honestly, I'm looking at that thinking, did I miss a mask? Did I pull the wrong mask?
Well, there's 3.
This is the one I used for the bow. You guys, I'm a
There's
professional.
A, B, and C, right?
Yeah. There's B. Where's C? I can't even see it. Can't see C. Maybe that's my problem. But anyway, I think it's fine. You do it your way. This one, look for the mask that has a little, I'm seeing the little evergreen needles in this one that I don't see on this one. So I have
so there might be the third mask you're
I have
missing.
you have the mask in front of you. I think maybe I put it inside here. Nope. I don't know. Where is it? Silly me. Let's move on to card number 2.
How about that? Let's move on. It's all good.
It's all good. All right. So this is my fancy fold card. I really like this one.
I love this one. It's so pretty.
I probably forgot how to do it too, but we're going to do it together. I've changed a few things from this sample, and you guys got very vanilla. I thought about it. I looked at it, and I thought, I think I would like this better if this was very vanilla. So I had Betsy cut, and I cut very vanilla, and then very vanilla for the background. So you'll see this is white, but it's going to be very vanilla in the sample. So what you're going to get in your kit, let me bring it in, is pumpkin pie 4 1/4 by 11. You're going to get a piece of 4 by 4 1/4, and that goes on the back. That's where you're going to have your greeting, because sometimes on these fancy folds you need a place to do your signing. You need a piece for die cutting and a piece for the tree, and then a pecan. We're going to die cut this die right here. I guess it's easier to see it here. This one is for this, and I pre-die cut it because who wants to watch me poke all those holes out? You're going to have a piece of granny apple green that's 3/4 by 4, and you can emboss that with whatever folder. I just use the texture, the painted 3D texture. I just wanted a little texture. Then we've given you some papers out of the country wood. So this is the country woods paper, and I think you could use the back side if you decide to use the other side too. I think you could experiment. I think both would be acceptable. And then you'll have a pre-cut. You pre-cut the smallest essential dies out of very vanilla for you, so that you would have a label. Okay, so we're going to get rid of some of these pieces that we don't need, that we've got die cuts for, this one, and then this is what we're going to do our tree on. This is our background, and then we've got that one already done. Okay, so let's go ahead. This one, you are going to need a cutter, a paper trimmer with a scoring blade. And we're going to start with our pumpkin pie paper. And I'm going to try to get my whole cutter in there. I think I have it. And I'm going to follow, if you have subscribed to Stamp It Your Way, you have a template in your packet, in your tutorial, but I am going to try to be as clear as I can on this. So you are going to put your paper in your trimmer. You're going to go to the 1-inch line, just like that. We are going to put our cutting blade at 4.5 inches, which is right there, which is a number on your, what do you call this?
The track.
There's a ruler. Yeah, the track. There's a ruler there. So 4.5 inches, and we're going to cut from 4.5 inches to 10 inches. Okay.
I've heard of that being called a plunge cut.
A plunge cut.
A plunge cut, yeah.
Then you're going to flip it over. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if that's right. That's what I've heard it being called. When you do it, like now, you come in so far and you plunge it in.
Okay. So now if you haven't moved your blade, it should still be at the 10-inch mark. You're going to, did you see what I did there? I flipped my paper around. I just took it and I flipped it around, and I'm going back to my 1-inch on my thing on my trimmer, and I'm still at the 10-inch, and I'm going to come back down to the 4.5-inch mark. Okay, and then I'm going to take that out. All right, then we're going to get rid of that blade, and we're going to use our scoring blade. Okay, so now we're going to turn our paper this way with the long side up, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not losing anybody. So I'm going to start on this side. This is my 4.5. Okay, no, that's not my 4.5. That's my 4.5. No, maybe I did mess up. I don't know. We'll see.
You're fine. You're good.
We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to go down to my, this is an 11-inch piece of paper, so I'm going to go to 1 inch, and I've got my score, and I'm going to score here at 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to lift it. I'm going to come up to the top and score at 1 inch, and I'm just coming into 1 inch. So 1 inch going into the 1 inch. I'm going to go to the 2-inch mark, and I'm going to score in, lift my track, and score on the other side. So I've got a little score there and a little score there. Then I'm going to move up to 4.5. I want to make sure that's right, because this, or 5.5. And I'm going to do the middle. For some reason, this does not feel right, but we'll see.
Your chart says
I think it's right. I think it's honestly, I think it's right. I think
it's right. I think you just did it backwards. I think on your diagram it's score at 4.5, 9, and 10. Instead, you're doing it like 1 and 2 and
going baggwards. Yeah, I'm going backwards.
I think you're just going backwards. That's all.
You're just using your lines. Okay, so then I'm going to go down to it's 6.5 here, but I'm just going to go ahead and score in, and then score in. Okay, so let's see if I did it right. We're going to fold. We're going to kind of be gentle. We're working our card. This one's going up. This one's going back.
Look at that.
What do you know?
Look at that. See? Right, so I knew you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, I just hope I didn't confuse anybody, but I think you'll understand once you're actually doing it. And this is the glory of us doing it on YouTube, is you guys can pause, stop, look, figure out what's Mary Ellen saying, read the directions on the tutorial. But here's my little, I'll say stair step or ladder type card. Okay, so now it's time to put some of this designer series paper on. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring in my tape. And I'm going to put this piece, I'm going to open up my card so that I have it on the inside. Okay, and then I've got another 3/4 inch piece. It's a lot easier when you have it laid flat. And then this piece in the middle. I hope I didn't steer you wrong. I hope I didn't steer anyone wrong.
I think it made sense.
Okay, and then while we're still gluing, let's go ahead and glue the little granny apple textured piece. You don't have to texture it. You could leave it plain. I like the little bit of texture there, down there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and fold it back up again. All right, I want to stamp my greeting, and I'm going to bring in the pecan pie. And my greeting is the no beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. This is a great thank you card. So we'll stamp that on our little tag. And I guess while we have the ink out, we'll bring in our background. Now, when you go to stamp the back of your card, you're going to want to hold it on. This is the wrong way. It's 4 by 4 1/4. So you want to make sure you've got that border all the way around before you do your stamping, because otherwise you're going to go from edge to edge and then have big bulky things. So I'm going to have thank you because you have a good heart. And then I'm going to stamp my little bird, which is still got a little bit of gray ink, but I want to stamp it off. I'm going to stamp it off right here on my, I want him to be just a little bit lighter.
Pretty. And I love that I stamping off on the glass mat just makes life so much easier.
Whoops, I'm sorry. I probably just made a big noise on my microphone, but I'm going to wipe that off. But no, I didn't realize I caught it.
It wasn't loud. It wasn't loud on my end.
Okay. All right, so let's just put that on while we've got it. Sorry, I'm going off camera. All right, so let's see if we can do this. I think we can.
It
All right, so
can't get any harder than the first part, can it?
golly, I don't know what's going on there. All right, so let's bring in, this is number 1, I believe, and we're going to bring in our pecan pie. So let's talk about, while I'm doing a little bit of blending with my brushes, let's talk about washing your brushes. So I'll tell you what I do, and Betsy, you can kind of talk about what you do. So you might be like, well, do I have to have one brush for every color? No. I'd say the answer is no. I like to have them in the same color family while I'm using them. But no, they are washable. And the thing about it is, though, when you do go to wash them, is allow time, because they do take time to dry. Don't you agree? I usually try to do mine the day before. If I'm going to have a big class, I like to do them the day before so that there's time for them to dry.
I will be honest, I have never washed or cleaned any of them. So like you say with color families, like I have a yellow, I have a red, I have a blue, I have a green, and I don't wash them. I run, I'll brush them on like a piece of paper or something like that to get the most of the excess ink out, but then I've never washed one.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll talk a little bit about washing them. So I stay in the color family. So I've got green here. I'm going to go start with my lighter green. This does have a little bit of the shaded spruce, but I put my mask on, but I take mine in and I like that. And I use soap or Dawn dishwashing liquid, and I wash them really good. And I try to get them just rinsed out as much as you can. So my tree's going to
Okay.
look a little different. I'm not going to be unhappy about it.
I like it.
So I do that. So there's my tree there. Now I'm going to bring in that
How
next layer
pretty is
that you were
that?
talking about. Yeah, it's really pretty. And I'm just going to pop it. I know I'm a little off here, but I'm just going to decide where I want it. And I
Yeah,
want
and
it
for
like
those that are doing it at home, remember that there are notches at the top. So if you like, I tried it where I marked my glass mat where the little notch was, so that when I brought each piece in, I kind of knew where it was going. But really, I don't even know you need to do that. You can line it up pretty well without even
Yeah.
using the notches, but they're there for if you need them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So that gives you that little duo tone of color. So there's two things let's talk about right now. We're talking about cleaning the brushes, good soap and water cleaning, wiping off on the a good paper towel or something like that. And then let's talk a little bit and then letting them dry. That's super important. And it does take time. It takes overnight for sure. But then these masks, clean them off as soon as you can. But there are a few that have some really small, I don't know, Betsy, maybe this one
This one,
has
yeah, it's got some delicate
has
little pieces.
little delicate pieces. So watch that and maybe go one way. So you're not pulling back on it. You be
Yeah,
aware. There's little prongs there that cover up the trunk. Be aware, but it's as easy as just taking your chamois and just running it
yeah.
along there and removing that color. It's not going to dry on there because this is plastic, so you don't have to worry. But get it off as when you're done with your card, then take that off, or between cards you can do that. Okay, so let me put this chamois away. Okay, so before we do the die cutting, I'm going to bring in this one, and I'm going to bring in my peach. I've got peach pie and pumpkin pie. So I was talking about staying in color family. So this is the one I used with the little brown. So mine are going to be a little color. I got this. I could take a paper towel and get off some of that brown.
Yeah.
Because I do want to bring in a little. Oh, that took off a lot. That was good. All right. So because I do want to have peach pie. And this is going to be really delicate because I die cut it first. I would have normally taken this. I would have taken this and I would have added color real hard. Color. I'd add some pumpkin pie, made it look all messy, really dark, and then die cut it.
Right.
And that would have been, I'd have had all kinds of variation. Because I die cut it first, I'm going to kind of be more pouncy with it. I'm going to pound some of the peach pie on there because I don't want to rip my die, but I'm going to get a very similar effect. So now that I would start light, blending brush, I can take some of that color off, although I'm going into a darker, which pumpkin pie. I wouldn't worry about that too much. And then I can just pounce on some of that pumpkin pie, getting a little darker in the center, some of these edges, kind of variegating it. Let's see
Think about all
here.
the fall colors you could do that with, right? Add a little red, add a little cherry in there, a little Cajun craze, green,
but
whatever.
Yeah. What's nice is when you're doing the paper, it can look as mucky as that, but when you die cut it, you don't see it. You just don't see it. It's just it doesn't show up that way. I like that. Okay,
It's
so
pretty.
then you could die cut this, or you can have it pre-die cut. So let's get that ink off. I do like the chamois cloth that comes with this. I just didn't have mine wet. It's dry. So this was on my desk. So I'm going to use this. It works just as fine. And then let's close some inks up and do a little bit of assembly. We'll remove that. And then I've got this little die. This is optional. Oh, I do have to die cut. I forgot I have to die cut this. So let me bring in my, I didn't have that die cut. So let me bring in my machine and the die. Oops. Okay, and my plates, which I threw off to the side because I thought I was done with them. They're here.
Oh, I don't
found
need
them.
those anymore.
They're here. They're here. I love the
Toast.
mini because I love the mini because I can just have it sitting on my desk. I don't have to jump up and go anywhere to find it. It's just here. If
I'm
I
headed
want
off to a
to,
retreat this weekend, and that's one of the things that'll be on my desk is my little baby bossing little mini guy, because then it's like perfect.
yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I can move it around whichever way I want it. Okay, so let's get that into the machine. Come on, baby. And there he is. It's like a little camo tree right now. Camouflage. All right, so we're going to, like I said, this is optional. This is just a little texture point. So you've got the color in there, but you can leave it on, you can put it on, or you can leave it off. It's up to you. I kind of like it. I'm kind of, I always say it's about the little details. And so just like you, Betsy, you're just going to add a little bit. You don't have to have a lot. You're going to actually be covering, the top part with the other die. So just laying this on here. And if you
Just
want
gives it
it,
more dimension, right?
yeah. And what you could do is if you offset it a little, you get both tones on there. So I'm going to offset it just a little. So I've got a little pecan ink and then a little pecan of the paper. And then this one, you're just going to add a few little dots of glue strategically. There are some places that have a little more paper and less holes. You just got to kind of hunt for them.
That would be a good one to use with the adhesive sheets. I need to use those more.
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah, yep, it would be. But I don't mind it having some floppiness to it too. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, that it's
Like
not all
having
stuck
it so
down.
it's not, yeah, I like it having the airy look.
Yeah.
So, like you, I just plop that there for a second. And then let's put our card together. So we've got this right here. We've got our this drawing. So let me show. I got to show you something funny. Why we're going to put a little twine on it. So I have this twine, and I have this little bag on my desk. This twine had gotten the whole end pulled off, and it's so hard sometimes to find the beginning. And so I stuck it in this little bag, and now I can kind of pull it out and hold it without the whole
Well,
gob
look at
coming out. Does
you.
that make sense? I know. I was just like, it's bothering me. It's like in my hands and all. I don't know what's happening. And so I put it in this little bag. And so now I can kind of pull out what I want. So we're going to just put a couple. We're going to do, well, once in a while. We're going to wrap this around 2 times, 3 times. It's up to you. I like the little look. I'm going to do 2 here. I'm going to use my snips. Give a little snip. So if your twine ever comes off the end, which it happens occasionally,
Yes, it does.
it's a good little trick to just, if you have one of those little organdy bags from, some jewelry you got or some beads or something, just go ahead and slide it in there. Find the end, slide it in there, and then it kind of keeps it in control. So, I like all that little extra.
Oh, that's pretty.
All right, so while that's still kind of drying a little bit, let me find my gems, which I probably threw out of the way. Everything I feel like, it's right here in front of my face. I didn't throw them. Surprise. And instead of putting the gems like kind of willy-nilly, I decided that we're going to do these kind of soldier-like. So I'm going to put them right here in the corner. You could use big or small. I'm just going to do these. Again, I'm going to do it over here and then I'm just going to do that little soldier-like look. I like that once in a while to do 3 gems in a row. just
Mm-hmm.
as an accent. I got so much of the putty out that my gems say, no, I want to stay on the take your pick tool. I don't want to move off of it. Okay. All right, so now we can pop this up. I'm going to use dimensionals. I'm going to probably use both. I'm going to bring in the big ones for up here. But I got to remember that some of this is floating off the card. So you're going to want to put it on your card. Remember, I'm not going to want
Oh,
to
good
go on
tip.
this. I don't want to go on this side. So I'm going to kind of stay down the middle. I know I can go off here to this side. And then maybe a mini or two down the stem. It's getting just a smidge tighter. Oops, that one popped right off to the edge. Okay, so let's add that. I think I really like the vanilla. I mean, white was fine, but I think the
Mm-hmm.
vanilla really, what am I want to say? It toned down. It wasn't
Yeah.
so dark.
Bright. It's not so
Yeah,
bright.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
just a little toned down. It wasn't the, highlight of everything. So
Mm-hmm.
then I'm going to use some dimensionals on my greeting.
I've always been a very vanilla fan. I just love very vanilla. It just seems warmer. It's such a, oh, depending on what you're making, that warmer tone is so much better. Pretty.
So there's the card. And I hope I didn't mess you up, but if you've got the tutorial, you definitely have the thing. And then if you're watching the video, I think if you pause and look at it, and then, start it again. So
It
there's
makes
my little,
sense.
yeah.
It's
A little
so pretty. Oh my goodness, is it pretty?
I wish I could. Yeah.
Nice
Yeah. I like
job.
that card. Yeah. I like that card. I like that
Mhm.
card.
Very pretty.
That's what I have.
Excellent. So those are our 4 cards showing the frosted forest with the masks, right? So many ideas with those masks, right? Oh, there's with the red too. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit darker. And
Mhm.
I think maybe I use clips of coral here. I'm telling you, I'm so sorry, but I think the peach pie and pumpkin pie is fine.
I
But
think so.
yeah, this might be now that I'm putting them together. But here's the white though. You can see how stark the white is and how muted the vanilla is. I like the vanilla better. So I
Yeah.
did do something.
Nice. Nice job. We did good this month, didn't we? We did good. Like showing, I mean, it's trees, right? And everybody's like, well, it's trees. But we showed, fall to winter to masculine to, whatever you needed to be, or to a rainbow, right? We did
Yeah,
whatever, we just mixed it up, right?
yeah,
So
that's right.
this is the new mini catalog, the September to December mini catalog. So if you do not have this yet, please contact us. Let us know that you need one. I'm not allowed to show you the inside yet, but this is the new mini catalog that's coming out. So you definitely want to check that out. And what we're going to do is next month for Stamp It Your Way, we're going to feature out of this catalog, and we're going to be using the More Than Autumn set. Isn't it adorable?
Clapping. I'm so happy about that. I haven't made my cards yet, but that's like just says, hey, I mean, this is the stamp set. Like if I was $1 million seller, who did that one? Because it is $1 million seller.
Oh, it is a $1 million seller. Hold on. I can look in the catalog.
Because whoever designed that, we should be friends.
We should be friends. Okay, who are we friends with? We are friends with
It's on the
Joe
side of
Golden.
this.
Joe Golden, yeah. Oh, it is on the side of the
I
set
know.
too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Joe Golden. She is the
Yeah.
one that designed this set as her $1 million set. So anytime you see this little symbol down there, that means that that's a $1 million set, and they get to work with a designer to help them design a set. It's super cute. This little gingerbread guy, oh my gosh.
I think that when you first look at it, you think there's just a lot there. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
But the thing that's nice is there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot, so you can do a lot.
Look at the dies. So
I
you have
know.
got that you can do like cocoa. This is cocoa. This is, I got to try apple.
Apple.
This one is
Yeah.
spice, hot. This one is pumpkin season. And this one says nothing better than. And there's so many different ones in here. The donut, all of these, the little pie piece. I mean, there's just so much that you can do with this one. So this is what we're doing next month. And we also, as part of the kit, we are going to include the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. So that is going to be one of the things that you're actually going to get in your kit with. Now you buy this, this is an add-on, but this will actually be in with your paper kit.
Put the stamp set on top of that folder so they can see how big it is. I mean, not like right on top, like just so you can see.
So look at the folder size.
It is
a big one. Yeah. So if anybody hasn't noticed this, they started with this last annual catalog with these new folders being gigantic.
They're gigantic.
So they take such a larger piece.
Yeah, because that stamp case is 7 inches, so it's at least 8 inches.
Well, here, so it is, yeah, it's a little over 8.5. It's about a little over 8.5 by 6.
Oh, so it's a half a sheet of paper. Yeah. Okay, wonderful.
Yep.
Ooh,
yep. So that is
do some stuff with that.
The plaid folder. Yeah, I can't wait to play with this. I'm like you, I haven't done my cards yet, but I'm getting there. Okay. Shoo, that was good. I'm excited for next month. I like you, I haven't done my cards yet, so I gotta play. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I love that stamp set.
Yeah, so I'm excited to play with it.
I got a few things to get through before I can play with it, but I'm ready.
For anybody that is watching, if you're still sticking with us, thank you for that. But if you are a scrapbooker, please be sure to check it out. Stampin' Up is coming out with a whole scrapbooking line. There's a new pamphlet flyer coming out in September with a whole scrapbooking line of products that are going to be new and available. So we're so excited about that coming. And that's available to anybody and everybody. It's Stampin' Up's new line, so it'll be pretty cool. I can't wait to show it off.
Hopefully next month we'll get to share a little bit more about that for sure.
Yeah,
so I'll be watching for it.
Absolutely. So please subscribe to our channels. We've been
waiting for this for a long time. So
it's fun to see it coming back around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the cards, and I hope you enjoyed spending time with us. We always love being together. So this is just a good way for us to be together every month. So
yeah.
Happy you're joining us.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.